Welcome to Coins World, where we take you on an in-depth journey into the fascinating world of numismatics. Today, we are exploring the 1991 Jefferson nickel, a coin that many people have handled in their daily lives but may not have realized its true historical significance. This video will take you through the origins of the Jefferson nickel series, the historical context in which the 1991 issue was struck, the intricate details of its design, the minting process, varieties, errors, grading insights, and the market trends that affect its value. This is a deep dive into everything you need to know about the 1991 Jefferson nickel. So sit back, relax, and let's begin this journey through history. The screen fades into a montage of historical footage, black and white images of Thomas Jefferson, old mints, and early nickel production, setting the stage for a detailed discussion of the Jefferson nickel series. Before we can truly appreciate the 1991 Jefferson nickel, we need to understand its origins, how it came to be, and the events that shaped its design. The story of this coin dates back to 1938, when the United States Mint replaced the Buffalo nickel with a new 5-cent design honoring Thomas Jefferson. The Great Depression had left its mark on the country, and with technological advancements in minting, the U.S. Treasury sought a more modern and easily recognizable coin. Felix Schlag, a German-American sculptor, won a design competition to create the new nickel, and his vision became an enduring part of American coinage history. The Jefferson nickel has remained in circulation for decades, witnessing key historical events such as World War II, the Cold War, the Civil Rights Movement, and the Space Age. By the time 1991 arrived, the Jefferson nickel had already seen more than 50 years of continuous production. But why is the 1991 issue significant? What sets it apart from the millions of other Jefferson nickels that came before and after it? To answer this, we must look at the political, economic, and numismatic factors that influenced its production, the mints that struck it, the changes in the U.S. mint's practices, and the overall condition of coin collecting. In the early 1990s, a vintage newspaper from 1991 appears on the screen, showing headlines about economic changes, presidential policies, and developments in coin collecting. The host continues speaking over the visuals. The year 1991 was a time of transition for the United States. The nation had just come out of the Cold War, the economy was shifting, and new policies were shaping the financial landscape. The Gulf War had begun, and President George H.W. Bush was leading the country through a period of geopolitical challenges. Meanwhile, the U.S. Mint was continuing its tradition of producing coins for circulation, while also responding to changes in metal composition, coinage laws, and collector interest. At the Philadelphia and Denver mints, the 1991 Jefferson nickel was produced in large quantities, ensuring its place in everyday commerce. However, the San Francisco Mint also struck a proof version, catering to collectors who sought higher quality specimens. Understanding the differences between these mint marks, their mintage figures, and their impact on the numismatic market is crucial for anyone looking to collect or invest in this coin. The screen splits into 3 sections, each displaying a different mint mark: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. While the host continues narrating, each of these mints played a role in shaping the 1991 Jefferson nickel's legacy. The Philadelphia Mint, which had been striking coins since the late 18th century, was responsible for producing the largest share of circulation nickels. The Denver Mint, known for its high output production, complemented this by striking millions of additional pieces to meet the demands of commerce. The San Francisco Mint, on the other hand, focused exclusively on proof coinage, creating stunning examples with mirrored fields and frosted devices that appealed to serious collectors. But what exactly went into the production of these nickels? To truly appreciate the 1991 Jefferson nickel, we must delve into the minting process, exploring the steps taken to transform a simple blank planchet into a finished coin bearing the image of Thomas Jefferson. The journey from raw metal to legal tender is a fascinating one, involving precise engineering, high-pressure striking, and rigorous quality control. The Jefferson nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a durable alloy that has been used since the series' inception in 1938. In 1991, the mint continued using this composition, ensuring that the coin retained its distinct silver-like appearance, despite containing no actual silver. The production process began with large coils of metal being fed into blanking presses, which punched out individual plankets, the small, round metal discs that would soon become nickels. These blankets were then annealed, softened through heating, and washed to remove any impurities. Once prepared, they were fed into coin presses, where dies struck them with immense pressure, transferring the design onto the metal surface. But not all nickels struck in 1991 were created equal. Some featured striking differences due to die wear, misalignment, or minting errors. These variations, whether intentional or accidental, have made the 1991 Jefferson nickel a fascinating coin for collectors. Over the years, numismatists have identified numerous errors, including off-center strikes, double dies, clipped blankets, and weak strikes, all of which add to the coin's intrigue and potential value. The most sought-after varieties of the 1991 Jefferson nickel include double die obverses, where Jefferson's profile exhibits slight duplication due to a misalignment in the die during the striking process. Another interesting error involves off-center strikes, where the design appears misaligned, leaving a portion of the blank planchet exposed. While these errors were unintended, they have become highly collectible, with some specimens fetching significant premiums in the numismatic market. But how does one determine the value of a 1991 Jefferson nickel? To answer this, we need to look at grading standards, market demand, and recent auction results. Coins are graded on a scale from per P1 to mint state MS70, with factors such as luster, strike quality, and surface preservation playing crucial roles in determining their overall grade. While most 1991 Jefferson nickels found in circulation show signs of wear, high-grade examples with full steps on Monticello's facade known as full steps FS nickels are particularly desirable among collectors. Collectors and investors alike seek out full steps nickels because they represent the highest level of strike quality. The term full steps refers to the number of visible steps on Monticello, with 5 or 6 full steps indicating a well-struck coin. These nickels, especially in high grades, can command substantial premiums at auctions, making them a valuable find for anyone searching through rolls or inherited collections. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Coins World. The 1950D Lincoln Wheat Penny holds a unique place in the annals of American numismatic history. Minted at the Denver Mint, this coin is part of the long-running Lincoln Cent series, which began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The obverse of the coin features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, a sculptor whose work was chosen to honor the legacy of one of America's most revered leaders. The reverse of the coin showcases the wheat ear design, which is why these coins are commonly referred to as wheat pennies. This design was also created by Brenner and remained in use from 1909 until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. The 1950D Lincoln Wheat Penny is particularly notable because it was produced during a period of transition in the United States, both economically and socially. Following the end of World War II, the country was experiencing a post-war economic boom, which led to increased demand for coinage to facilitate everyday transactions. The Denver Mint, one of the United States Mint's primary facilities, played a crucial role in meeting this demand. The D Mint mark located on the reverse side of the coin below the wreath signifies its Denver origin. The Denver Mint, established in 1906, has a rich history of producing coinage for circulation, and its output during the early 1950s was substantial. In 1950, the Denver Mint struck over 334 million Lincoln Wheat Pennies, making it one of the higher mintage years for the series. Despite this high mintage, the 1950D Lincoln Wheat Penny is still sought after by collectors due to its historical significance and the unique characteristics of coins produced at the Denver Mint. The composition of the 1950D Lincoln Wheat Penny is consistent with other pennies of its era, made of 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. This composition gives the coin its distinctive reddish-brown appearance, although over time the surface can develop a patina that ranges from light brown to dark brown depending on the conditions in which the coin was stored. The design elements of the 1950D Lincoln Wheat Penny are rich in symbolism. The obverse features a profile of Abraham Lincoln facing to the right, with the word liberty inscribed to the left and the date 1950 to the right. The motto "In God We Trust" appears above Lincoln's head, while the phrase "E pluribus unum" is inscribed along the upper edge of the coin. The reverse design, with its 2 wheat ears flanking the words 1 cent and United States of America, evokes the agricultural heritage of the United States, a fitting tribute to a nation built on the ideals of hard work and perseverance. The 1950D Lincoln Wheat Penny was struck using a process that involved the use of coin dies, which were engraved with the design elements and then used to stamp the images onto blank plankets. The plankets were fed into coin presses where they were struck under tremendous pressure to create the final product. The quality of the strike can vary, with some coins exhibiting sharp details while others may show signs of weak strikes, particularly in the central areas of the design. This variability adds to the charm of collecting Lincoln wheat pennies, as each coin has its own unique characteristics. The historical context of the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny is deeply intertwined with the broader narrative of mid-20th century America. The early 1950s were a time of optimism and growth as the nation emerged from the challenges of World War II and entered a period of prosperity. The baby boom was in full swing and the economy was expanding rapidly, leading to increased consumer spending and a higher demand for coinage. The Lincoln wheat penny series, which had been in circulation for over 4 decades by 1950, was a familiar sight in the pockets and purses of Americans. It was a coin that symbolized stability and continuity in a rapidly changing world. The 1950 Lincoln wheat penny also reflects the technological advancements of its time. The Denver Mint, like other U.S. mint facilities, was equipped with state-of-the-art machinery that allowed for the efficient production of large quantities of coinage. However, the minting process was not without its challenges. Variations in die-quality, planchet preparation, and striking pressure could all affect the final appearance of the coins. Collectors today often seek out examples of the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny that exhibit full details, particularly in the wheat years on the reverse, and the finer elements of Lincoln's portrait on the obverse. The condition of a coin is graded on a scale from poor to mint state, with higher grades commanding greater value. In the numismatic market, the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny is generally considered a common date in the series, but high-grade examples can be quite valuable, particularly if they exhibit original mint luster and minimal wear. Over the years, the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny has become a staple in coin collections, both for novice collectors and seasoned numismatists. Its affordability in lower grades makes it accessible to those just starting out, while its historical significance and potential for high-grade rarity appeal to more experienced collectors. The coin is often included in typesets which aim to represent each major design variation in U.S. coinage, as well as in date and mint mark sets which focus on collecting every issue of a particular series. The 1950 Lincoln wheat penny also serves as a reminder of the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln and the values he represented as the first U.S. coin to feature a historical figure. The Lincoln cent broke new for future commemorative coinage. The wheat year design on the reverse, which was eventually replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959, has become an iconic symbol of American coinage and is fondly remembered by collectors and historians alike. In addition to its numismatic significance, the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny also offers a glimpse into the cultural and economic landscape of the early 1950s. This was a time when the United States was solidifying its position as a global superpower, and the penny, as the lowest denomination of U.S. currency, played a vital role in everyday commerce, from purchasing newspapers and candy to making change for public transportation. The Lincoln wheat penny was a ubiquitous presence in American life. The 1950 issue in particular represents a moment in time when the nation was on the cusp of significant change. As the 1950s progressed, the United States would experience the rise of television, the dawn of the space race, and the beginning of the civil rights movement. The Lincoln wheat penny series would eventually come to an end in 1958, making the 1950 issue one of the later examples of this beloved design. In conclusion, the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny is more than just a piece of currency. It is a tangible link to the past that tells the story of a nation in transition from its iconic design to its historical context. This coin embodies the spirit of mid-20th century America and continues to captivate collectors and historians alike. Whether appreciated for its aesthetic appeal, historical significance, or numismatic value, the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny remains a cherished artifact of American history. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Coins World. The 1970 Washington quarter dollar is a coin that embodies the rich history and evolving identity of the United States Mint as well as the nation itself. This coin is part of a series that began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the first president of the United States and a foundational figure in American history. The Washington Quarter series was initially conceived as a one-year commemorative issue, but due to its widespread popularity and the urgent Need to replace the standing Liberty quarter, which had proven difficult to strike consistently. The design was adopted for regular circulation. The obverse of the 1970 Washington quarter features the iconic left-facing portrait of George Washington designed by John Flanagan, a sculptor whose work was selected through a competition held by the Commission of Fine Arts. Flanagan's design captures Washington's dignified and resolute character with intricate details in his hair and the folds of his clothing. The word Liberty is inscribed above the portrait, a powerful reminder of the ideals upon which the nation was founded. To the left of Washington's image is the national motto, "In God We Trust," which was first included on U.S. coins during the Civil War era and has since become a standard feature. Below the portrait is the year of minting, 1970, marking this coin as a product of its time. The reverse of the 1970 Washington quarter retains the original design that had been in use since 1932, featuring a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings perched atop a bundle of arrows and an olive branch. The arrows symbolize the nation's readiness to defend itself, while the olive branch represents its desire for peace. This dual imagery reflects the balance between strength and diplomacy that has been a cornerstone of American policy. The eagle, as head, is turned toward the olive branch, suggesting a preference for peace, but the presence of the arrows serves as a reminder that the nation is prepared to protect its interests. The design is completed with the inscriptions "United States of America" and quarter dollar, as well as the motto "E pluribus unum," meaning "out of many one," which underscores the unity of the states in forming a single nation. The 1970 Washington quarter was produced during a period of significant transition for the United States Mint and the country as a whole. The 1960s had been a decade of profound social, political, and economic change, and the early 1970s continued this trend, with the nation grappling with issues such as the Vietnam War, the Civil Rights Movement, and the growing influence of counterculture movements. The quarter, as a widely circulated coin, served as a small but constant presence in the daily lives of Americans, a tangible piece of history that connected them to the broader narrative of their country. The composition of the 1970 Washington quarter reflects the economic realities of the time. In 1965, the United States Mint had transitioned from producing quarters made of 90 silver to a clad composition consisting of an outer layer of 75 copper and 25 nickel bonded to a core of pure copper. This change was driven by rising silver prices and the need to reduce production costs as the demand for coinage increased with the growing economy. The 1970 quarter is thus part of the clad coinage era, which marked the end of silver circulation coins in the United States and the beginning of a new chapter in the nation's numismatic history. The 1970 Washington quarter was struck at 3 mint facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. The Philadelphia Mint produced the majority of these coins, and they bear no mint mark distinguishing them as products of the nation's first and largest mint. The Denver Mint added a small D to the coins it produced, while the San Francisco Mint struck proof coins for collectors, marked with an S. The proof coins were made using specially prepared dies and polished plankets, resulting in a mirror-like finish and exceptional detail that set them apart from circulation strikes. These proof coins were typically sold in sets to collectors and were not intended for general circulation, making them a prized addition to any collection. The production of the 1970 Washington quarter also reflected advancements in minting technology. The United States Mint had adopted new techniques to improve the efficiency and quality of coin production, ensuring that each coin met strict standards for weight, size, and design details. This attention to detail is evident in the sharpness of the strike and the clarity of the inscriptions, which include the word Liberty above Washington's portrait, the motto "In God We Trust" to the left of his image, and the year of minting below. The 1970 Washington quarter is not considered a rare coin in general circulation, as millions were produced. However, certain varieties and mint marks are sought after by collectors. For example, the 197OS proof quarter struck at the San Francisco Mint is highly prized for its mirror-like finish and exceptional detail. These proof coins were typically sold in sets to collectors and were not intended for circulation, making them a valuable addition to any collection. The 1970 quarter also holds historical significance, as it was one of the last years before the bicentennial quarter was introduced in 1975 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. The bicentennial quarter featured a special reverse design depicting a colonial drummer and a victory torch, which temporarily replaced the traditional eagle design. This makes the 1970 quarter one of the final issues of the original design that had been in use for over 4 decades. The 1970 Washington quarter remains a popular coin among collectors and historians alike. Its enduring design and historical context make it a fascinating piece of American numismatic history. Part of a collection, the 1970 quarter serves as a tangible connection to the past and a reminder of the enduring legacy of George Washington and the values he represents. The coin's design, with its dignified portrayal of Washington and its symbolic reverse, resonated with Americans as a representation of their heritage and aspirations. The production of the 1970 quarter also reflected advancements in minting technology. The United States Mint had adopted new techniques to improve the efficiency and quality of coin production, ensuring that each coin met strict standards for weight, size, and design details. This attention to detail is evident in the sharpness of the strike and the clarity of the inscriptions, which include the word Liberty above Washington's portrait, the motto "In God We Trust" to the left of his image, and the year of minting below. The 1970 Washington quarter is not considered a rare coin in general circulation, as millions were produced. However, certain varieties and mint marks are sought after by collectors. For example, the 1970 S-proof quarter struck at the San Francisco Mint is highly prized for its mirror-like finish and exceptional detail. These proof coins were typically sold in sets to collectors and were not intended for circulation, making them a valuable addition to any collection. The 1970 quarter also holds historical significance, as it was one of the last years before the bicentennial quarter was introduced in 1975 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. The bicentennial quarter featured a special reverse design depicting a colonial drummer and a victory torch, which temporarily replaced the traditional eagle design. This makes the 1970 quarter one of the final issues of the original design that had been in use for over 4 decades. The 1970 Washington quarter remains a popular coin among collectors and historians alike. Its enduring design and historical context make it a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, whether found in circulation or acquired as part of a collection. The 1970 quarter serves as a tangible connection to the past and a reminder of the enduring legacy of George Washington and the values he represents.